Yeah. Is it my screen sharing, guys?
Yes, yes.
Cool, cool. Uh, yeah, guys. So thank you for coming this session. This is all about how to start with Jetpack Compose. So इसके अंदर basically हम यही बात करेंगे कि Jetpack Compose से हम start कैसे करें और how we can यानी कि go forward and learn Jetpack Compose. और क्या exactly हमें सीखने की जरूरत भी है या नहीं है या फिर ये किस तरह से काम करता है Jetpack Compose. So we will talk about all the how and why, and we will talk about the more important thing, which is a migration. Like if you have already have a project which have a XML view and all, like every industry, like if you take about any of the IT companies which have their previous app, so how they can switch into the migrate into the basically new Jetpack Compose app. So and what is Jetpack Compose, we will talk about all these things. So let's get started. Yeah. So first, I fix the agenda. So agenda is a basically introduction to the Jetpack Compose. So first, I will introduce you how, what, and why, and what is advantage, disadvantage, and all this stuff. Then we will talk about basic composable functions. Then we will talk about how to adopt Jetpack Compose in your existing project. Then I will talk about how to start learning a Jetpack Compose. Okay. So for that, I will share some of the references and all, so you can start learning your Jetpack Compose. Yeah. So first is a basically introduction. So introduction. Basically, Jetpack Compose is a nothing more. It's a new UI toolkit, modern UI toolkit, provided by Android. So they are saying it's so faster. It's increase your development time, and I also believe in that. It will increase our it decrease our development time. Is यानी कि UI development time. There is a lot more thing जो कि बहुत ज़्यादा फास्ट कर देगा हमारे डेवलपमेंट को. तो ये this UI toolkit is a basically modern UI toolkit. Why they are saying modern UI toolkit? Because of very previously we use XML and all to make Android UIs. But right now, yani many of language, like if you go to the React Native, if you go to the basically React, if you go to the many more like Dart, if you go to the Flutter, they all use a declarative UIs. So for that, basically declarative UI have a less learning. If anyone want to switch between one to the other language, so there is a less effort to switching the language. So if someone want to basically start learning their Android journey, Android development journey, then it have a very difficult, because you have to learn Java, you have to learn XML, then you can go with Android wala part. But right now you can just learn Kotlin, and you can go with that, and you have no need to learn XML and all. So this is all about. Then other thing is basically it's a completely unbounded to the existing UI framework. Like अभी जो XML जो हमारे साथ चलता है, उसके साथ इसके कोई रिलेशन नहीं है, कोई बाउंड नहीं है उसके बीच में. No, we are not using any legacy code here. Okay. Then built-in support of material design. So material design themes का इसमें built-in support है. So you have not think about कि किस तरह से कौन सी डिपेंडेंसी हमें पास करनी चाहिए मटेरियल डिजाइन की. For material design 2 and 3, you have to pass your dependencies, but for the material design components, they have already built-in support. Next is a basically composable. Yeah. So next is basically for the existing code base, you can use your basically uh, your for the if you have a existing course grid, you can use your basically compose there. और उसमें कोई आपको इशू नहीं होगा. उसके लिए भी मैं आगे चल के बात करूंगा कि how to migrate our existing project to the Jetpack Compose. Yeah. So next is basically why we should use a Jetpack Compose. So first is basically UI development को बहुत ज़्यादा faster करने वाला है, so that's why we should use Jetpack Compose to increase our productivity and all. नेक्स्ट इज बेसिकली इजी टू लर्न. या डेफिनेटली बिगिनर के लिए बहुत ज्यादा इजी टू लर्न है. फॉर द समबडी, if already have a XML, so there is a little bit effort to learn Jetpack Compose, but its effort is totally worthful. Yeah. Next is basically easy to maintain a code base. Basically, if you are using a XML, and if you are binding that view with your main activity and doing these stuff, then you have to do, if you do any kind of changes with your views, so you have to do uh, changes with your activity. So there is a 2 file, 3 file, and 4 file dependency between the UI. So for that, if you need to maintain the code, if you need to update the code, then there is a much more difficulty as compared to the Jetpack Compose when you are using that. Next is the interoperability. So you can Jetpack Compose is totally interoperable between the XML and basically composable views. So you can interoperate between that. Next is basically it's make us super easy to animations are super easy in that Jetpack Compose. You can use it. You just have to wrap it into the animated class, and you're good to go with animation. Next is basically make easy UI testing. Yeah. So for the Jetpack Compose, when they are developing the Jetpack Compose, they have a point of view to do a UI testing. So for that, they have provided a UI testing. They have provided a lot more things, like you can lot more events are there. There is a stream trees are there, so you can use that these things. So basically UI testing is very too much easy. Point to remember, one is basically our Jetpack Compose is totally declarative in the sense कि, if you just have to declare some of the functions in certain ways. So all the functions are rendered into your UI. Next is basically reactive programming. They have a reactive and stateful. So reactive is basically totally database data driven programming is there, and basically your stateful is basically they have aware about the states and all. Next is basically UI direction flow. So basically, there is a no much sorry, this is a unidirection. Sorry for the mistake. So it's a unidirectional flow. So Jetpack Compose is registered to do a unidirectional flow, which makes things more easier, more uh, uh, more in future. You can do a lot more updates and update in your UI, and there is a no much crashes and test cases are left. So for that, if there is a state, so state will be flowed to the UI, and UI events will be flowed to the states. Like if you have an activity, so activity have or and view model. So view model will give a state, and activity will from activity to view model, it will flow event. Okay. What is event? Event is basically your all the click, gesture, and all this stuff. Yeah. Next is basically what is issue with the previous XML UI, and why should we shift into the Jetpack Compose? So first is basically is all the advantages previously we talked. We can add these, and we can also talk about these key. There is a note, yani ki basically it's a easy to maintain UI, and all this stuff, like a single source of truth is there. Basically, there you no need to, if you need to change in something in UI, so then you have no need to change into two files, like one your activity file and other is your XML layout file. So you don't have to do that. Other thing is basically your make UI a complex UI simpler. So for example, if you want to make a circular image in your previous XML UI, so for that you have to use an external library, or you have to basically learn about more about a shader and all these concepts. So for that, uh, Jetpack Compose makes so life easier. People life easier. Yeah. So next is basically a recycler. For example, if you think about a recycler view, so recycler view is lot more complex, and it's a very complex basically API which is in Android. Or basically for that you have to make a view holder, you have to make adapter layouts, item layouts file. Many more things are there. There's a binding, you have to create a binding for between layouts and basically your data, all this stuff. And it's a very huge code base you have to write for the recycler with just to show some few list sorry some list. Yeah. I know it's a very extend you can extend your recycler view to many of the things and do many more things. But with the Jetpack Compose, you can do a very easily, you can use a lazy column, and you can populate your list inside the lazy column. It's not a very difficult task for you. Yeah. So so next is basically what is composable function. So composable function is a simple Kotlin function. It's uh, not uh, different as compared to a Kotlin function. They have some special things which makes a composable function special. Like you have to annotate your function with a composable, and you can start your basically you can start your composable function. You can name your composable function with a capital letter. Okay, so that is a thing you have to do. Why we have to do? Because basically they are creating a class uh, during the compile time using their composable and all. So that's why we have to name our composable function with a greater capital letter. Other thing is basically is work like a suspended function, like a coroutine session. As Ankit said, suspended function can call suspended function. So as that composable function can call a composable other composable function. So it's just like a similar to a suspend function. Yeah. Next is basically it's a special type of function which render a UI in your UI hierarchy. So it's a simple simply is a function which basically which make your make to render a UI. Okay, add these function into your UI hierarchy. So that is all. uh, so next there is a simple one composable function, basically that is a greeting, and you have to pass your basically name, and you have a basically material text. You can just pass it here and you're good to go. uh, Next is basically your basic material composable. So there is some basic material composable provided by Google. So you can check this out. For the text view, you have previously you are using a text view. You can use it text there. Text composable function. There is a text field composable function which used for the taking inputs. There is a button composable function which you can take for the for making a buttons. You can use basically your checkbox. So checkbox is a all these things are rendered here. Yeah. Next is basically your yeah. And next is your basically on click. There is you can pass here on click listener, whatever you do want to do inside a click. So you can pass there a lambda function or whatever any function you can pass here. It will trigger whenever the button is clicked. Guys, any questions? uh, if there is any question, please guys let me know. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so next is basically layouts. Layouts which used previously. There is a lot more layouts in our previous XML development. There is a leaf layout, there is a frame layout, there is a table layout. There is a many more layouts are there. Layout, relative layout, many more layout over there. But in the compose, there is a few layouts they have given. One is basically our column layout, and there is a row layout, box layout, and basically our constraint layout. So column layout is a column layout. Place your view, place your composable view in like that, like vertically, and then there is a basically your row layout. It will place your view into a horizontal manner. Then there is a box layout which place your view from like a frame layout. What frame layout do like that? Yeah. Other is basically constraint layout. Constraint layout, you can use that layout as a constraint layout you are using previously. Like you can constrain your views between the parent or basically your child, your other views. So it's make life more easier. So yeah. Next is basically a lazy column. So lazy column, nothing but it's a kind of way to populate a list. Where we are using a recycler view previously, so right now we for now you can use basically lazy column, and you can populate your list inside basically your inside your views. Yeah, you can make a recycler view. If you are coming from a XML parts, then you can make a recycler view. Otherwise you can just understand ki you have to make a list which will populate vertically. And other thing is basically your row and column. So you can make a lazy row, lazy column, and whatever lazy row and lazy column and all. So for the lazy row and lazy column, what they are doing basically, it's a similar to the recycler view, or basically those elements are only visible, that those will render, those are only visible. Okay, not render all the list. Uh, all the lists are not going to render there. Okay, so there is no need to think about that कि सारा list ही उसके अंदर आएगा. और previously we have basically we have to do a find view by id and all. So it will go to the UI hierarchy and find the id inside it, and then place the view and do all the stuff. Recycler view. Okay, okay. So what is the issue of previously, like पहले हम ये भी तो कर सकते थे कि लाइक एक हमने नेस्टेड एक स्क्रॉल व्यू बनाया और उस स्क्रॉल लेआउट लिया, और उसके अंदर बेसिकली हमने बहुत सारे जो है और डायनेमिकली हमने बहुत सारे बटन्स वगैरह ऐड करवा दिए. So we can do that. So why recycler view comes, like if we have a list of basically we have a list of 2000, then we have a one layout have a 4 view. So we have to maintain a find view by id of the 4 into whatever the list size it is. So we have to worry about that. So which is very complex operation. So we don't want to do that, and it's make a your UI will not look very smoother in that. Okay, so what lazy do, lazy is a basic column are the all the layouts you can use there. And what the lazy do, lazy will evaluate it when the scrolling is happen, whenever the scrolling will happen, then is lazy will evaluate it, and it will start adding the view inside your view hierarchy. Yeah. Next is basically modifiers. So modifier is a kind of attributes which previously used in our XML. So XML में जैसे हम attribute वगैरह करते थे, उसी तरह से यहाँ पे modifier है. So by using modifier, we can change the background, we can change the size of item, and we can change the spacings and shapes and all. Uh, then we can also provide a click gestures and touch events by using modifier. And we can do a chaining, but very carefully we have to do a chaining. So uh, what is a carefully we have to do chaining, like let's suppose this is a modifier. Okay, and we have put it basically full max width. Full max width is mean ki like uh, horizontally पूरी width को ले ले, it's like a match parent. And then we have provided a padding between that. So it's a not like previously we have a padding. Okay, and if we provide a background just after a padding. Okay, if we provide a background just after providing padding, then you can see ki like this all area, all the white area will be a blue, will be a whatever color you will provide inside the background. But if you want to basically provide a padding, if you will provide padding, sorry, background before padding. So then in that case you can only see ki ye wala jo part that is only basically become to the that background color whatever you have given us. So for the any view you can provide a modifier inside it. So after providing a modifier you can good to go. Like you can change all the spacing and all this stuff. Yeah. Next is basically icon. So Jetpack Compose come with icon support. So icon support, for that you no need to convert your SVG into the XML and do all the stuff. All the popular and famous icons are provided inside the Jetpack Compose. So you just have to use a icon, and there is a there is a one image vector, and you just have to pass there the icons or default and favorite, whatever person, and there is a lot more icons are provided inside the Jetpack Compose. You can go and check this out. Just you have to provide a tint. There is a three type of, one is a default, one is a your field, and other is a your outline. So you can use these icon, and content description, you have just have to provide the description and all. So for now I have provided for favorite, whatever you want to do, you can do that. It's just for the your context. Yeah. And next is basically images in Compose. So images in Compose is a basically very simple thing. It's like if you need a image view, so just you have to pass your basically you can pass here bitmap and many more things, like you can pass a resource and all, and you're good to go. And basically for what I earlier said कि जैसे इमेज व्यू आपके पास है, तो उसको अगर लेट सपोज आपको सर्कुलर बनाना था अगर एक्सएमएल में, तो आपको या तो एक्सटर्नल लाइब्रेरी यूज़ करनी पड़ती थी, या फिर आप वो उसका भी यूज़ कर सकते थे, सेपेबल इमेज व्यू का यूज़ करते थे, या फिर आप शैडर वगैरह का कंसेप्ट बनाकर पढ़ करके खुद का ही एक लाइब्रेरी क्रिएट कर रहे थे। तो ऐसा कुछ करना पड़ता था वहाँ पे, जो कि जिसका लर्निंग कर्व बहुत ज़्यादा था। देन फॉर नाउ यू जस्ट हैव टू डू कि यहाँ पे आपने अपना साइज़ सेट किया अपने इमेज का, एंड देन यू हैव टू जस्ट क्लिक क्लिक किया, और यहाँ पे शेप आपने पास कर दिया। शेप कहाँ से मिल रहा है? तो शेप बेसिकली ऐसे थीम वगैरह से मिल रहा है, और वहाँ से अपने शेप को पास कर दिया, और शेप को पास करते ही देन यू आर गुड टू गो। आपका जो जो इमेज व्यू होगा वो सर्कुलर बन करके आपके सामने आ जाएगा। तो दैट इज़ अ सर्कुलर इमेज व्यू जो आप चाहते हैं। अदरवाइज़ यू इफ यू वांट टू अ राउंडेड कॉर्नर एंड व्हाटएवर यू डू वांट टू do, you can do it according to your needs. Yeah. Then next is basically our themes. So theme in Jetpack Compose is super easy. It's a basically you just have to pass a color, typography, and shapes, and you are good to go. So for making your custom themes, it will handle itself, like if you want कि वो नाइट मोड में कैसा दिखेगा, डार्क मोड में कैसा दिखेगा, you can it will handle itself. But if you want to do so you can do it your own, but you can pass a color palette, like I have a pass different color palette, like a dark and light, whatever theme is that, so according to that I have passed the color palettes inside. Next is basically material themes. So basically what I have do, I have basically passed my own colors into a material theme, so I can use these themes. And you can for setting that theme, you just have to basically go in your activity and your fragment, and just you have to basically wherever you are basically getting the वो set content view करके, और फिर वो लेआउट वगैरह जहाँ पे आप वो डालते थे, वो जस्ट वो वाले पार्ट, उस वाले पार्ट को आपको करने की अब जरूरत नहीं है। नाउ यू जस्ट हैव टू कि बेसिकली सेट कंटेंट आपको करना है, और उसके अंदर बेसिकली थीम को लेना है, और सॉरी थीम को लेकर के, और उसके अंदर जो भी आपका कस्टम थीम का नाम है, वो कस्टम थीम को लेना है। उसके अंदर आप बेसिकली अपने व्यू वगैरह जो भी कंपोजेबल फंक्शन है उसको कॉल कर सकते हैं, उसके ऊपर वो थीम अप्लाई हो जाएगा। देयर इज नो इश्यू विद दैट। इसके कारण बहुत सारी चीजें और इजी हो गई है। फॉर एग्जांपल लेट्स सपोज इफ यू वांट कि यानी कि जो मेरा थीम है वो किसी पेज पे कोई और थीम हो, दूसरे पेज पे कोई और थीम हो, जो कि पहले बहुत करना डिफिकल्ट हो जाता था, बट राइट नाउ इट्स सुपर इजी। यू जस्ट हैव टू यानी कि सेट कंटेंट व्यू में जब भी आप पास कर दो, ये थीम को आप चेंज कर दो, दूसरे थीम से, तीसरे थीम से, और चौथे थीम से, व्हाटएवर यू डू वांट टू डू, यू कैन डू विद दैट। या सो अदर थिंग इज कि फ्रेगमेंट में आप कैसे पास करोगे, तो फ्रेगमेंट में यू कैन डू लाइक दैट। you can do you just have to basically compose view, and basically you can apply there uh yeah in set content view, you just have to basically apply that theme here. Yeah, I didn't apply there, but you just have to apply that theme here, and you can pass there any composable function like test view and whatever you do want, and it will apply on that theme. That theme will be apply on that. Yeah. Next is basically escape fold. So it's a special kind of composable function which make our life so easier. अब इससे क्या easy हमारे life को बनाता है, तो you can pass it, यहाँ पे आप basically आप escape fold का state pass कर सकते हो। You can pass की टॉप बार क्या है. So you in top bar you can pass कि वो उसका basically searchable whatever you have, so you can pass that top bar here. You can pass कि bottom bar कि if there is some bottom bar you can pass that some bottom bar there. Then basically you can pass a drawable content whatever you want, and then basically you can pass a floating icon button. So that floating icon button you can pass here. You can pass a body, whatever body is there, you want to basically show, so you can pass that body here, and you are good to go. All the spacing and all the thing will be take care by the Jetpack Compose and material themes. So it's a best practice to use scaffold uh, inside your uh, uh, inside your project, so you can easily you shouldn't worry about spacing at all. And what is the spacing between a top bar and your basically your body, and what is the spacing between your basically left and right spacing of your uh, floating action button. You does not have worry about that, so it will take care about the material themes. Any question, guys? Guys, if you have any questions, and then please let me know. Okay. Yeah, it's ready for production. It's right now you can use a 1.0.5. There is a right now Jetpack Compose. Yeah. Yeah, few companies are started using. For example, Twitter is started using a Jetpack Compose. There's many more companies which started using a Jetpack Compose. So yeah, Spotify, I think so. Spotify is also starting a Jetpack Compose. So a company is at a transition period right now. Yeah. Uh, uh, Sorry, I don't have idea about that, Mohammed. Okay, 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 okay. Nice, nice. Yeah. So any more questions? Okay, let's continue. Okay, so next is basically a bottom navigation. So for making a bottom navigation, previously it's so difficult to make a bottom navigation. You have to create an item and all. There is a lot more thing. But for now, it's very simple. You just have to call a bottom navigation composable function. You just have to pass a background if you want a custom background in your composable. Otherwise, it will use a theme. Voila. Next is basically you just have to pass a whatever item you have. Like I have passes a icon. I have passes a on click if there's a click. So what kind of event I want to perform, and then there is a selected true. So selected true, it means by default mail is a selected. Okay. Next you just have to pass a level. So level you can pass a text and whatever you want. If you don't pass level, then the only icon will be visible. Next you can pass you can pass many more items, navigation item there. So that according to that navigate bottom navigation start populating itself. Next is a basically stateful. So yeah, so that is a very important thing. Stateful. So by default, composable function are the stateless functions. So you don't have an idea about states. So for that, basically you have to use you have to use basically mutable list of that is one of the thing which will make your function stateful. So what is a stateful? Like for example, if you want to check, and you are basically pause your activity and come back, then that check is start if you have checked, then it's start converting to checked is false. So by default, so it's don't have a state aware composable function are not state aware. For that you can use basically your you can use a mutable list of, and you can pass whatever you want to pass, like integer and whatever you want to pass. Okay, so you can pass it here, and you are good to go. Like you can make your list. You can uh, not mutable list, you have to pass a mutable state here. Okay, so a mutable state, and you can good to go. Okay, and for the mutable list, you can basically you have a list which is a state aware. Okay, uh, next is a basically a recomposition. So what is a recomposition? So initially, when composable Jetpack compose uh, uh, co- is executed, so it's basically keep track of the all the compositions, where it's do a track of that. So in gap buffer, it basically track the all the compositions. And why it is doing that? Whenever you are doing any kind of changes inside your data, and it's basically inside it is basically observing the data, and it's recompose the view, and basically it's update the view and reflect those changes into your UI. So that is a recomposition. Next is a basically a point to be remember. So point to remember is a basically composable can be run parallel. So one composable and other composable function can be run parallelly. Composable can execute in any order. So there is a no order for the composable, like it will execute first that, second that, and third that. So it can use execute any in any order. Composable can be called multiple times. So if you want to if you are basically doing a click listener and basically updating the text of your button, so it's getting called multiple time whenever you are basically clicking on your button and basically updating your view. So it will click, uh, recomposition will happen again and again. Next is basically composable are skipped according to changes. So if there is some changes और वो composable के ऊपर नहीं हुआ है, तो it gonna skip their changes. Okay, so it gonna not reflected on an UI. So next is basically remembering compositions. So compositions जो कि uh, yeah so for remembering composition, basically there is a one keyboard which is a remember. So remember कीवर्ड के थ्रू आप क्या कर सकते हैं कि लाइक आपका आपका एक फंक्शन मेमोरी होता है, और उसके अंदर बेसिकली आप कुछ डेटा को स्टोर करवा सकते हैं। उसका फिर फायदा क्या होने वाला है कि व्हेनेवर द रिकम्पोजिशन विल हैपन, सो इनिशियली जब पहली बार जब यूआई रेंडर होगा, तो बेसिकली इसके अंदर डेटा स्टोर हो जाएगा रिमेंबर के अंदर। और जब वो रिकम जब जब भी आप उसके अंदर चेंज करेंगे, तो जब भी चेंज करेंगे, तो वो बेसिकली जो रिमेंबर है वो अपना जब भी रिकम्पोजिशन होगा, तो रिमेंबर जो है वो अपना बेसिकली अ, जो 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 वैल्यू है उसको रिटर्न कर देगा। तो वो वैल्यू को रिटर्न कर देगा, और फिर उस वैल्यू को आप सेट करवा सकते हैं। तो इफ देयर इज़ सम चेंजेस, देन वैल्यू विल सेटेड। इफ देयर इज़ नो चेंजेस, द रिकम्पोजिशन विल नॉट हैपन, स्किप्ड हो जाएगा। वो जो स्किप वाला पार्ट था, वो यहाँ पे ऐसे ही स्किप्ड होगा। ओके, सो नेक्स्ट इज़ बेसिकली हाउ टू अडॉप्ट यानी कि हाउ टू अडॉप्ट योर Jetpack Compose in your basically existing project, whatever you have right now. So if you are working at any of the IT company, any of the company as an Android app developer, so if you want कि हमारा पहले से legacy code XML वगैरह में है, and now we want कि उसको हम Jetpack Compose में कैसे चेंज करें। So for that there is a few questions जो आपके दिमाग में होगा, कैन आई यूज आवर एग्जिस्टिंग एक्टिविटी और फ्रेगमेंट, उसके अंदर हम Jetpack Compose को यूज कर सकते हैं क्या? कैन आई यूज XML टू मेक अ कंपोजिबल्स? तो हाँ, बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं। कैन आई यूज एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टम थीम, जो हमने कस्टम थीम बना रखा है, टाइपोग्राफी वगैरह सब कुछ डिफाइन कर रखा है, तो वो सारा कोड बेकार हो जाएगा क्या? उसकी जगह उसको कम एफर्ट्स में कैसे कंपोजिबल थीम के अंदर कन्वर्ट करें? तो फॉर दैट ऑल द क्वेश्चंस का आंसर यहाँ पे है। तो कैन आई यूज एग्जिस्टिंग एक्टिविटी एंड फ्रेगमेंट? तो यस, यू कैन यूज योर एग्जिस्टिंग फ्रेगमेंट और एक्टिविटी। तो आपको क्या करना होता है, तो उसके लिए जैसे ऐप कॉम्पैक्ट एक्टिविटी इसके अंदर यूज हो रखा है, और उसके अंदर बेसिकली आपको कुछ नहीं करना है। यहाँ पे बस आपको एक कंपोज व्यू का एक टैग का यूज करना है, और यू जस्ट यू हैव टू बेसिकली यहाँ पे यानी कि अपने यूआई के हायरार्की के अंदर बस आपको कंपोज़ व्यू ऐड कर देना है एंड उसके बाद आपको कुछ नहीं करना, बस फाइंड व्यू बाय आईडी कीजिए और उसके ऊपर सेट कंटेंट करके और देन यू कैन रेडी टू गो। आप कंपोज़ को इसके अंदर यूज़ कर सकते हो और रेंडर करवा सकते हो अपने कंपोज़ को यहाँ पे। तो आपको ज़्यादा ज़्यादा यूज़ नहीं करना, अदरवाइज़ अदरवाइज़ हमारे पास एक कंपोनेंट एक्टिविटी है जो कि बेसिकली कंपोजेबल एक्टिविटी है। सो इन दैट यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट दैट टू। बस आपको सेट कंटेंट व्यू करना है और सेट कंटेंट व्यू में थीम ऐड करके और आप आगे काम कर सकते हैं। बट इफ यू वांट कि हम मैं कॉम्पैक्ट एक्टिविटी को ही यूज़ करना चाहता हूँ, तो फॉर दैट यू जस्ट हैव टू बेसिकली एक्सएमएल में आपको ये कंपोज़ व्यू को ऐड करना पड़ेगा और फिर कंपोज़ व्यू के ऊपर आप जितनी भी अपनी यानी कि कंपोजेबल फंक्शंस को एग्ज़ीक्यूट करवाना चाहते हैं उसके अंदर अकॉर्डिंग टू योर रिक्वायरमेंट्स उसको आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट इज़ बेसिकली हमारा जो एक्सएमएल का कोड है उसको हम लेट्स सपोज़ चाहते हैं कि हम कंपोजेबल बनाएँ। तो फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल कि अगर अगर आपकी कंपनी लेट्स सपोज़ कि कोई डिज़ाइन सिस्टम वगैरह है आपके पास और चाहते हैं कि उसके अंदर हम कंपोज़ का सपोर्ट डालें। तो फॉर दैट यू कैन व्हाट यू कैन डू कि आपका पहले से ही एक्सएमएल वगैरह बना हुआ है और उसको उस कंपोनेंट को कंपोजेबल तरीके से सपोर्ट करवाना चाहते हैं, तो फॉर दैट डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट दैट। यहाँ पे देयर इज़ अ गुड मैजिक ऑफ एंड्रॉइड व्यू। सो इन एंड्रॉइड व्यू यू जस्ट हैव टू बेसिकली फैक्ट्री मेथड में आपको इन्फ्लेट करवा लेना है उस लेआउट को और फिर उसके बाद अपडेट के अंदर यू कैन अपडेट दैट यानी कि वो फाइंड व्यू आईडी करके और व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू अपडेट यू कैन अपडेट दैट, टेक डेटा इन आर्गुमेंट एंड अपडेट दैट डेटा हियर। एंड वो एक तरह से आपका कंपोजेबल फंक्शन बन जाएगा और यू कैन यूज दैट कंपोजेबल फंक्शन इन योर कंपोजेबल एक्टिविटी। So if somebody is using, you can provide a support to XML to composable function. So that is also possible. Other thing is basically theme. So for the theme, there is a very good thing, MCD adapter. So you can use a Android composable theme adapter. So that is a what that will do. It will basically convert your XML into a composable XML, and you can go and check this out that adapter, and you're good to go. So there is a no much efforts to convert your existing theme into the composable themes. So yeah, uh, for yeah. So guys, any question here? Okay, okay. Okay, yeah, I will explain once more. Yeah, sure. Okay, no more questions. See, yeah, so yeah, sure. So reactive programming is a basically कि जैसे मैं इस once more आप ये कह सकते हैं कि it's like a data driven programming. So it's a whatever data will come according to that the view and the basically your आपकी जो UI है वो basically वो UI पॉपुलेट होता है, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड रिएक्टिव प्रोग्रामिंग, जो कि बेसिकली कुछ चीजों को ऑब्जर्व करके और जैसे कोई डेटा है उसको हमने ऑब्जर्व किया और उसको बेसिकली हम व्यू के ऊपर शो करवा रहे हैं, तो वो इसको हम रिएक्टिव प्रोग्रामिंग करते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल यू कैन गो एंड चेक कि वो यानी कि आरएक्स जावा कैसे काम करता है, दैट इज वन ऑफ द वे जो हम रिएक्टिव प्रोग्रामिंग पहले प्रोवाइड करते थे। फॉर नाउ हमारे पास लाइव डेटा एंड ऑल है, तो लाइव डेटा के थ्रू हम वो प्रोवाइड करते हैं। नेक्स्ट चीज़ है बेसिकली द स्टेटफुल। सो स्टेटफुल जो है वो सिंपल सा चीज़ है, इसमें देयर इज़ अ नो नो मच थिंग। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल जो भी कंपोजेबल है, कंपोजेबल फंक्शन है वो स्टेटलेस होता है, वो स्टेटफुल नहीं होता है कंपोजेबल फंक्शन हमारा। तो कंपोज जो स्टेटलेस फंक्शन है उसको और स्टेटफुल में क्या अंतर है बेसिकली कि लेट्स सपोज अब आपने कोई चेक बॉक्स है उसको लेट्स सपोज आपने क्लिक कर दिया, ओके, और आपने अपने अपने एक्टिविटी को पॉज़ पॉज़ मोड पे डाल दिया, ओके, एंड फिर आपने वापस अपने एक्टिविटी को खोला। तो हो सकता है वो चेकबॉक्स जो है वो बेसिकली आपका यानी कि चेक्ड था पहले और अब अनचेक्ड हो गया। तो दैट इज़ कि वो आपकी स्टेट को मैनेज नहीं कर पा रहा वो बेसिकली फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल आप एक और एग्ज़ाम्पल ले सकते हैं कि फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल लेट्स सपोज़ आपने अपना जो वो एक्टिविटी आपने खोला और एक्टिविटी का और अपने मोबाइल का ओरिएंटेशन चेंज कर दिया और देन आपने चेक किया तो आपका जो डेटा है वो परसिस्टेंट नहीं है। फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल लेट्स सपोज़ कि अगर आपने एक टेक्स्ट व्यू ले रखा है एडिट टेक्स्ट और उस एडिट टेक्स्ट में कुछ आपने टाइप किया और टाइप करके आपने ओरिएंटेशन चेंज किया, आपका डेटा गायब हो जाएगा। तो दैट इज़ अ स्टेटलेस कंपोनेंट। तो उसके लिए हम लोग क्या यूज़ करते हैं, तो उसके लिए वी आर यूजिंग अ रिमेंबर, और फिर वो जो म्यूटेबल लिस्ट है वो यूज़ कर म्यूटेबल स्टेट वगैरह का यूज़ करते हैं, जिससे हमारा जो स्टेट है वो मैनेज रहे। अगर आप व्यू मॉडल का यूज़ कर रहे हैं, तो फॉर दैट यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट दैट, क्योंकि वो व्यू मॉडल उसके स्टेट का जो होता है वो उसके बारे में टेक केयर करता है, और वो बेसिकली उसके अंदर जो भी आप डेटा ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं उसके अंदर जस्ट यू हैव टू पास की ऑब्जर्व स्टेट करके, ऑब्जर्व एज ए स्टेट। सो जो डेटा आएगा वो स्टेटफुल डेटा होगा, और फिर वो उसको यानी कि डेटा को स्टेट चेंजेस से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। या अंकित, कैन यू स्टॉप रिकॉर्डिंग? Yeah, guys, so there is a few references there. You can go and check this out कि वो यानी कि there is a one very good repository, compose cookbook, which I am also reading from there. So you can go and check this out. You can go and check this out, sample apps जो कि एंड्रॉइड के थ्रू यानी कि एंड्रॉइड की जो गिटहब रिपोजिटरी है उसके थ्रू प्रोवाइड की गई है। देन यू कैन चेक दिस आउट कि देयर इज अ गूगल का वेरी गुड कंपोज पाथवे. There is a one, I have put that link here, so you can go and check this out. So these are all the things जहाँ से आप बेसिक वगैरह सीख सकते हो. For coming soon sessions, we will talk about animations. We will talk more about layouts and all. We will talk more about custom views in Jetpack Compose. So there is a lot more thing left. So we will talk this about further videos. Yeah. Uh, if you have any question, then you can reach me out on my LinkedIn and Telegram. There is a Telegram group, so you can join too. If you don't have idea about Telegram group, so you can go and join that Telegram group. All the sessions will posted there. Yeah. Uh, if any question, yeah, yeah. That PPT will be shared on your Telegram group. Yeah. Uh, View widening, when you are using basically on when आपका जब व्यू क्रिएट होता है, तो क्रिएट होने के बाद जब यानी कि व्यू बाइंडिंग को मेरे ख्याल से तो क्रिएटेड में यूज करना चाहिए, नॉट इन क्रिएट। या ऑन क्रिएटेड में यूज करना चाहिए व्यू बाइंडिंग। या बिकॉज़ जो व्यू जब आपका यानी कि ऑन क्रिएट व्यू जब कॉल होता है, तो उस समय बेसिकली आपका व्यू बेसिकली यूआई पे इन्फ्लेट हो रहा होता है, और वो सब काम होता है, तो दैट उसको हमें इंटरप्ट नहीं करना चाहिए फॉर दैट टाइम। या अदरवाइज़ यानी कि मेरे को बहुत अच्छे से इसका आइडिया नहीं है। आई हैव टू चेक दिस आउट। या यू कैन गो एंड चेक दिस आउट। एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? या थैंक यू गाइस, थैंक यू सो मच। बाय।